Centuries ago, the land of Egypt took pride in its power, its armies, and its grandeur. But on that same land lived a people whose lives were drowned in slavery, humiliation, and fear. They were the children of Israel. Their men were forced into hard labor. Their sons were killed. Their women were left alive. Even their breathing depended on Pharaoh's command. The Qur'an tells us that Pharaoh had exalted himself in the land and divided its people into groups. He oppressed one group among them, slaughtering their sons and sparing their women. Indeed, he was among the corruptors. Then Allah willed to bestow His favor upon the people who were considered weak, to rescue them and to raise them against the very tyrant who claimed to be their Lord. For this purpose, Musa, peace be upon him, was sent. Musa stood in Pharaoh's court and said what no one had ever dared to say before. He declared, "I am a messenger from the Lord of the worlds. Send the children of Israel with me. Free them from slavery." But how can a heart drowned in arrogance accept the truth? Pharaoh refused. He saw miracles, yet refused. Signs came, yet he refused. Allah sent various punishments. Drought struck, fruits diminished, storms came, locusts spread, lice infested them, frogs filled their lands, water turned into blood. Each time, Pharaoh promised that if the punishment were removed, he would let the children of Israel go. But when relief came, he broke his promise. This stubbornness was moving towards its final end. Then the time came. Allah had decreed that the children of Israel would be taken out, and that Pharaoh and his army would become a sign of warning. Allah revealed to Musa, "Take my servants by night and depart. You will surely be pursued." The words were few, but within them lay an entire history yet to unfold. Night came. It was not like other nights. It was the night of decision. Musa prepared his people. Silently, families left their homes. Some carried belongings, some carried their children. The elderly, the weak, women and men, all were walking. There was hope in their hearts and fear. They knew that if they were caught, there would be no mercy. The Qur'an says they set out. Meanwhile, Pharaoh made announcements throughout his cities. "These people are only a small group. They have enraged us, and we are fully prepared." The pursuit was certain. Pharaoh gathered his forces, prepared his soldiers, and set out after them. Morning was approaching. The two groups could see each other. On one side, unarmed people. On the other, a trained army. The children of Israel panicked. They said, "We are overtaken." This was the moment when all apparent means had ended. Ahead was the sea, behind them the enemy. No path was visible. But there stood a prophet. Musa said, "No, indeed my Lord is with me. He will guide me." This was certainty. This was trust. This was the faith that invites miracles. Morning light spread across the sky. On the sand stood a frightened people, watching the advancing army, the shining weapons, the pounding hooves, and the arrogance of assumed victory. In front of them, the sea with its towering waves. Behind them, the enemy who had enslaved them for generations. Human eyes see only physical paths, and there was none. That is why they cried, "We are overtaken." It was the sentence of weakness, the sentence of fear, the sentence of calculation that excludes Allah's power. But Musa's reply was preserved forever in history. "Never. Indeed, my Lord is with me. He will soon guide me." This certainty was stronger than the sea itself. Then came the command. Allah revealed, "Strike the sea with your staff." Think about it. A staff, and in front of it, a sea. But in the hand of a prophet, that staff was no longer just wood. It became a symbol of divine command. The staff struck. The Qur'an says the sea split apart. Each part rose like a great mountain. Walls of water stood firm. Dry paths appeared between them. Where moments ago there was death, now stood salvation. Musa commanded his people to move forward. They were amazed. Some were still afraid, but the path existed. They walked. Children, women, and the elderly all descended into the pathways Allah had opened for them. On their right and left were towering walls of water, and in between, the path of mercy. Pharaoh arrived. He saw a scene beyond human comprehension, paths through the sea. This was a moment where a heart could have taken heed, but arrogance blinds. Pharaoh ordered his army forward. They entered the same paths. Perhaps he thought it was the road to victory. In reality, it was the road to his end. The children of Israel had crossed. The last among them had emerged. Pharaoh and his army were now within the sea. Then came Allah's command. The standing walls collapsed. Water returned. Waves rose. Within moments, the mighty army, the arrogance, and the claim of divinity were all drowned. As he was drowning, Pharaoh said, "I believe in the one in whom the children of Israel believe, and I am among the Muslims." But the time for faith had passed. A man who denied the truth his whole life, even after witnessing miracles, his final moment declaration was not accepted. Allah said, "Now, while you disobeyed before and were among the corruptors?" Yet even then, a sign was preserved. Pharaoh's body was saved, so that future generations may see the end of arrogance. The sea became calm. The children of Israel stood on the shore and looked back. The enemy who once whipped them was gone. This victory did not come from their strength. It did not come from their numbers. It was the truth of Allah's promise. The Qur'an says, "We saved the children of Israel and drowned Pharaoh and his army before their eyes." That was the night when slaves became free, when arrogance drowned, when certainty prevailed. The sea was calm again. The people stood on the shore looking at one another, as if unable to believe they were truly alive. Yesterday they were under whips. Today they stood free. It was a moment for gratitude, a moment for prostration, and indeed, Musa and the believers gave thanks. But human nature is strange. When fear fades, hearts begin to wander again. The Qur'an tells us that after crossing the sea, they passed by a people devoted to idols. They looked at those statues. An old disease awakened in their hearts. They said, "O Musa, make for us a god just like they have gods." Think about it. They had just witnessed the sea split. They had just seen their oppressor drown. Yet only steps later, they desired an idol. Musa said, "You are an ignorant people. What these people are engaged in is doomed, and false is what they do." He reminded them, "Shall I seek for you a god other than Allah, while He has favored you above the worlds?" This was the first test. Salvation had come, but faith was still weak. Then Allah called Musa to Mount Sinai. 30 nights were appointed, then 10 more, 40 in total. Musa left Harun as charge and said, "Reform my people and do not follow the path of corruption." Then came another trial. In Musa's absence, a man called Samiri misled them. He made a golden calf that produced a sound and said, "This is your God and the God of Musa," but Musa forgot. How quickly humans forget. Yesterday, the sea. Today, a calf. Harun tried to stop them. He warned them they were being tested, but they refused. When Musa returned and saw his people like this, it was heartbreaking. He was angry, not for himself, but for the oneness of Allah. Then he prayed, "My Lord, forgive me and my brother, and admit us into your mercy. You are the most merciful." Those who worshipped the calf were commanded to repent in a severe way. These events teach us seeing miracles is not enough. The heart must remain firm. This story is not just about the past. It is the story of every person whom Allah rescues from hardship, yet who slowly begins to forget again.